Hi guys, it's 2025 and we thought of doing something different this year. Last year we kind of explored different avenues of like what is success, and one of the premises of starting this channel was to kind of explore how, as people of multiple interests and creatives, we can explore those interests and achieve something through all of that. Since in today's world we are kind of pushed towards, singular paths and specialization, whereas some of us, myself included, we want to explore our multiple interests, we want to do new things, we want to paint, drive cars, build stuff, and that has become a challenge. So what we're kind of going to do this year is we're going to approach it in a more structured manner. One of those being we set goals, right? And instead of just randomly setting resolutions down for the year, we're going to do this different, we're going to try out these things, creating bucket list and so on and so forth, we're kind of going to break it down, right? So how we are going to kind of approach this is on a quarterly basis. So 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, and again 3 months. So the first 3 months, we will set a couple of goals and interests that we want to explore. So the goals that we kind of approach, they obviously might evolve over time within those 3 months. But what we can kind of look at is say, okay, hey, these are the areas I would like to look into. So it's more of bringing that structure to the chaos that we are as like creatives, right? And it also gives us a map to kind of reaching that end result, or even if there's not an end result, we have a more structured way of like getting to know the things that we need to create whatever we're trying to create at that moment. But we're going to say, okay, during these 3 months, we're going to explore these avenues, or these are the interests that we have. And if we have any other interests that pop up, we're going to push it for the next. So in that period, what we're going to do mainly is explore, try and create something relevant to that, and then see how it kind of performs. Like having a result-oriented approach, we're also going to explore things, just for the sake of curiosity. So it can be, let's say I'm going to start painting or drawing, but the whole point of that is not to maybe create an art exhibition or show it to other people. It's just for, personal reasons. But the whole idea is the action goals. I think we spoke about this before in a different episode, where you have vision goals and then you have action goals. And those action goals are going to be the day-to-day or weekly goals that you're going to have to set for yourself. For example, draw 1 painting per week. So at the end of this year, we have 52 paintings, right? It's rather like paint once a week. Okay. So this year, one of the things that we are going to kind of explore is building a personal brand. And it kind of ties into what I'm trying to do with the channel here. And the reason I decided to kind of build a personal brand is, one, it kind of structures things out in terms of what I'm trying to do with the channel. Second thing is it kind of builds a sense of credibility. So if I say, okay, I'm going to post once a week, then for that week, I have to do maybe XYZ things to be able to post that video. The other thing is that with personal brands, it is kind of your access card, I would say. It gives you access to different things that you're trying to do, places you're trying to visit, people you're trying to meet. So that alone kind of has a compounding effect on the long term. So building a personal brand being the main focus, I think, for the first 3 months, and we'll kind of see how it goes. So if you have things that you're trying to achieve and put together for this year, maybe you want to follow along and try and build that personal brand so that it will have you committed. For example, you want to paint this year. What better way to do it than maybe build a channel or maybe multiple channels around your work, creating a personal brand, right? So for example, you will post once a week of your initial experience with figuring out how to paint. So you probably are going to document your research process, you're going to document your initial steps, and then at the end of it all, you have a good sort of a track of how you have maybe improved or places you want to improve, and it gives you the credibility factor because there are other people watching. Yeah, it can be a bit daunting having different people watching you, and since it's like your initial first steps, it can be a bit embarrassing. But you know what? You don't have to post it at the beginning itself. So you can shoot the video, and then once you're done with, let's say, a 3-month challenge of learning how to paint, and once you're confident with your improvement, you can show where you started and where it kind of ended. So how we're going to do this is we're going to create a personal brand around a specific passion project, right? And it might be you trying to become an artist, or you trying to explore art. It can be you trying to sing. It can be your passion about restoring bikes or cars. It can even just be you telling your story about how you got obsessed maybe with exotic cars, whatever it can be, right? The other way that we can look at it as well, it might not be a passion project. It might be related to your career, right? So let's say you are an accountant, right? And you want to create content around financial accounting. That way you establish yourself as a professional in the area, and then you also can expand your knowledge with the research that you do to create that particular personal brand. So you become sort of a KOL, right? So a key opinion leader. You build a brand around you being that professional in that particular area. A personal brand is your enabler, right? It enables you to achieve more than what you're doing right now. It is also, like we discussed earlier, your access card to different things that you want to do and places you want to visit, the people you want to meet. It's just so many positives. So it does make sense to kind of focus on building your personal brand. And with that, we'll wrap up today. And in the coming episodes, we will look deeper into what a personal brand is, how you can structure it out, and how to document your life basically and build that brand around that so that people want to watch and see what you're doing. And in turn, it will be beneficial for you.